Good evening, guys, and happy Monday to all your sunshiny faces. So guys, I thought I would have a haul for you guys today. Do not, because Matthew had to go to work, and we currently only have one car and my dad's work truck, which he can only take to work places. Or I mean, like, if there's an absolute emergency, like, you know, somebody need to be rushed to the hospital. But you know, so we can't, like, you know, we have one car, and right now, because Matthew's car needs to be taken in, and so for work, which he works in the afternoon until like late at night, he uses the he has to use like the family car, and so he had to use it tonight for work, and I think he doesn't work tomorrow. Hopefully he doesn't, because we have to at least go to Aldi, because like we don't have hardly anything like to eat right now. And so, well, like we were gonna go to like Valley Produce and Caputo's tonight and then do like Jewel and Aldi tomorrow. And so we can't do that. We weren't able to go tonight, and so I was like, I mean, like, maybe we could go to Aldi and Jewel tomorrow, but I was like, honestly, I'd rather just know what I need to get and get all of it at Aldi, instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna get this stuff here or that stuff there or whatever. And so I'm a little bit bummed out. There were some good deals going on at Jewel, and again, some produce things and stuff like that at Valley Produce and Caputo's. But it looks like I'm just gonna have to pass on them for this week, which, like I said, stinks. But the sales are over on Tuesday, so I can only go to just Aldi and pick up what I need there, and then not be able to, you know, or not get anything else. But I'll just go for the next week's sales. And there wasn't really, because like I said, we were gonna go on Thursday, and if we went on Thursday, again, because the same situation that happened today happened on Thursday, if we were able to go then like today or tomorrow, we could have just went to the other two stores. But trying to cram all four in one day is gonna be crazy. So yeah, or like if we still can't, like Matthew has work again tomorrow, we could maybe go to Aldi on Wednesday and just not even like shop sales or anything. Like I said, just go for like the stuff that we know we need. But I'm not like completely out of anything. So the thing I got yesterday at Ikea, which I was going to share with you guys, is like a French press. It was actually only $9 at Ikea. It was awesome, and I love it because the problem I had with my other one was that I think, which it was super weird, but for whatever reason the glass ended up getting a slight tiny little hole in it, and it ended up dripping all of a sudden, and I noticed it, and I put my finger there because I sort of thought like, oh, it just like spilled over the side and was dripping from the bottom. So I went to go sort of like wipe it up, and that's when like all of a sudden the floodgates opened, and it was the little piece of glass like came through the hole, and then it all started going everywhere. It was originally not like that when I started pouring the water, and obviously I would have noticed if it just started coming through like crazy, but I thought I'd spilled some of it. So, but the glass was really, really thin, and what I think possibly happened was it happened like sometime in the winter last year when it was cold out, and I had it in a cabinet, and I'm thinking that maybe it was just too cold, and like again, it wasn't like freezing cold in the house, again, like normal, you know, like, I mean, it wasn't as hot out probably as it is right now, but it wasn't like freezing cold. We had the heat and the furnace on, but I'm wondering if because it was in the bottom of a cabinet or something like that, that's possibly why. Like it got cold, and then when I put the heated water in it, it just cracked or something, or if possibly something had happened to it before that I just didn't notice. But like I said, I didn't see anything on it when this happened to it. So this one from Ikea is really like, it's thick glass. I think it's glass. I'm going to assume it's not, or else it's like some type of really thick plastic, but it feels like glass to me. Just like a much, much thicker glass. So I'm not so concerned with this happening again with this one that, like I said, I got from Ikea. And also too, is weird because it was made out of like the base, sort of the legs were made out of like, and this one that I got, my mom got for me from World Market, was like it was pretty expensive. I think it was like $40 or $30 or something like that. And obviously I've seen tons on, you know, Amazon that are way cheaper, and this one at Ikea was $9. And So yeah, but it also started rusting. Like, again, I only had it for, like, I got it, I think, in maybe sometime over the summer last year, like maybe July or August, something like that, and it broke, like I said, sometime in maybe November or December or January or something like that. I don't totally remember. But by that time though, within like the first couple of months even, or first couple of weeks, the like metal, it was like made with, the one from Ikea also has, it has like a metal band around it for the handle. But this one, the other one that I used to have, had the legs were made out of it too, and it started rusting like right off the bat, and it said it was dishwasher safe and everything like that, but it was like already, like, there was a rusty spot on it from like it getting wet, like, and regardless too, like, I wouldn't have even really been able to have hand washed it, like, it still would have probably rusted too, because it was the bottom, like the base part of the, you know, the legs, and so the way that the design was. So like I said, this one has like a plastic sort of base that you can actually take off and remove, and again, the glass of the French press actually seems like it's really good quality. So I have that in the dishwasher right now, but currently I don't have enough dirty dishes to run it, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to actually have that, use it for tomorrow. So yeah, but hopefully, like, the actual coffee part, you know, I don't get coffee grounds all in my coffee and it works well and everything like that. But I loved my French press when I had it before. It just, the coffee tastes so much more strong, and like, and I wouldn't normally like add like extra coffee grounds to it when I'd make it. I'd actually probably add less, but for me it just tasted way more like rich, sort of, I feel like, than just like, instead of making like a K-cup cup of coffee or like a coffee pot. And so it's like tasted sort of like, I don't know, it tastes, when I make like a hot cup of coffee, it's sort of like from the Keurig especially, it tastes sort of bitter. And I know a lot of people, like, I never really noticed that, and now I'm starting to become a little bit more of a coffee connoisseur and actually listen to other people talk about coffee, and I'm like, I started to notice it now too. And I was like, I never knew why, like, certain kinds of coffee or certain like flavors of coffee, maybe more than some, and or like the way certain coffees are made, and I can taste that depending too. Like yesterday when we went to that breakfast place, that coffee was so strong. Yesterday I put like, I think 4 creamers in my coffee, and I still couldn't even finish it because it was just like so strong. And I even put sugar in there. I normally don't add sugar to my coffee, but I like my coffee actually with a lot of like creamer in it, but I still like to be able to taste the coffee. And so sometimes, like, if there isn't the right ratio of coffee to, like, that's why sometimes too, making it in a Keurig is not always the best, because you use the same K-cup for a 4-ounce cup of coffee as you would for like a 32-ounce cup of coffee. I don't know if it's actually that big. I think it's like 16 ounces or 8 or something like that. But like the big cup, you know, like a small little cup is the same size, or like a mug is the same size as a travel cup. Like, you don't add 2 in there, it's just 1. So like, it obviously is going to be way more diluted if you're doing one versus the other. So that's why, like, for me too, I like to do the French press, because I can control the amount of flavor of the coffee. And so I like to have my coffee really flavored when I drink it, and like I said, add a lot of creamer to it though. But I want to be able to still taste the coffee and not just the creamer, and I don't want it to taste super sweet either. So like, I don't add sugar to my coffee. I used to, but I don't really like that anymore, because I like to have the flavor of the coffee, but I can't really do black coffee. So I like to have, like I said, that taste of creamer. I've also, ever since I was little, we used to go out for like breakfast or whatever, I used to always drink the little coffee creamers from like the, you know, the places, like my parents would get coffee and I'd always drink the little creamers. And like, it was just, I loved the way creamer tastes. And so I actually like that, but I love actually having a flavorful cup of coffee on top of that too, if that makes sense. So like I said, now I'm starting to become a little bit more of a coffee connoisseur, and learning a little bit more about like different flavors, different types of, you know, like like I said, coffees, ways to make coffee, like a French press, but then also too for like hot coffee and stuff like that, like a Keurig. But I want to get some other kinds of other ways to make coffee. There's like doing like the drip coffee, whatever that's called. And like I said, still a little new here to all of it, but I've been drinking coffee for a long time, like since probably I've been drinking coffee since high school, but I really like became like a daily thing really probably right out of high school. Like I think it was maybe my sophomore or junior year or something like that was when I finally like had a cup of coffee and actually was like, this doesn't actually taste that bad. And I remember too, it was a Dunkin' Donuts coffee and it had enough creamer in it. That's what I realized I liked coffee, was because it had a lot of creamer and it didn't taste so coffee-like. And so then finally, once I realized like, oh, I can ask for extra creamer when I get a coffee, then I started, like I said, drinking coffee a little bit more regularly. And so, but I only really have like 1 cup in the morning and that's sort of it. And I'll be totally honest, guys, other than the fact that I will get a headache if I don't have coffee in the morning, I don't really notice that it affects my like energy level at all. Like sometimes I think it does, but sometimes I can have no coffee or hardly any coffee and I will still have the same amount of energy as if I had like a full big cup of coffee or something like that. So I don't, you know, like my mom is like, oh, I need like, you know, 3 more cups of coffee. Like I feel like it helps me wake up a little bit, but it doesn't give me like energy. So like, you know, I don't really know. It's just not, for me, it doesn't really give me that energy, sort of like, oh, and now I'm gonna go like run a mile, or like I'm gonna go clean the house or something like that. Like I normally have that energy if I have, like I said, a little bit of coffee or a lot of coffee. So or again, if I don't have any coffee, sometimes I can still have the same thing. I'll just get a headache because my body needs that caffeine in the morning. And I will be like a little crabby until I get my coffee. But like I said, I don't really ever notice like a change in like my energy level like a whole time when I have coffee. So it's not like something that I like need to have in the morning. It's just something that like I just start my day that way every day. And like I said, I just rather do without. Now it's such a thing though that like I'll get a headache if I don't wind up having it. So which was what ended up happening when we were on vacation on, it Saturday, I think, something like that. I didn't get any coffee until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which is super late too. Like I can't have coffee afternoon either because I feel like it does affect how I sleep. It just doesn't help my energy level during the day. But yeah, I didn't get anything until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon because we didn't get out to a place to be able to go and get coffee. So yeah, and then finally we stopped at a gas station at 2 o'clock. So we got a Starbucks, like the little frappuccino thingy, sort of, whatever it is, like the cold drink. So yeah, I was getting a definite headache on Saturday because it was 2 o'clock already and I hadn't even had a drop of any caffeine. So, and also too, like I could probably do without drinking coffee and just have like a Coke, but that's not tasty for breakfast. It goes better with like pizza. It doesn't go well with like a bagel. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of our sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.